Mixed martial arts is my favorite sport. It's the best sport in the world. It's the best, one of the best things I've ever been a part of. I love training in it. I love when I was competing in it. I truly love it. Martial arts is one of the healthier things that somebody can do. You know, learn self-defense, gain some confidence, get in better shape. But with that said, there is a lot of delusional people in this space, in the martial arts space. A lot of self-proclaimed black belts. There is a lot of delusion. There is a lot of bullshito black belts, as I would say. Today, we are going to take a look at some of the most delusional MMA takes and, in my opinion, ineffective martial arts. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. So first off, we have a fan that explains specifically why he can beat Alex Pereira in a fight.
One UFC fighter you think can beat up if you had a full camp to prepare?
All right, so, and I'm being honest here, it is 100% Alex Pereira because that guy is, and if anyone knows how to wrestle against him, I'm a collegiate wrestler, if anyone knows how to wrestle against him, it's over. I understand he can knock you out with any punches, but if you looked at people that try to take him down, people take him down with ease because he doesn't know anything about wrestling, and he won't be the champ much longer at 205 if he gets a wrestler in there.
First off, I understand he wasn't specifically saying, I can beat Alex Pereira, but he is saying, I'm a wrestler, and a wrestler would beat Alex Pereira. All you have to do is take him down. Now, there are a lot of people that are like, I just see red, bro. I'll beat Conor McGregor. I'll beat John Jones, but I'll take this guy. I'll take Alex Pereira down, when in reality, the only thing that they're taking down is a bucket of chicken wings. There are people like this, but then also you do have professors, teachers, coaches, or even worse, senseis of martial arts that I think are not necessarily effective. But before we get into that, I want to show you, in my opinion, a coach that is working harder to shorten his fighters' careers than make them better. And first off, I want to say, if you go to a gym where the coach does this type of thing to you, find another gym immediately. Your chin only has so many big punches it can take, and if your coach is trying to test your chin while you are defenseless in the gym, you got to find a new coach. He's not there to make you better. He's there to get his own anger out on the people that are paying him money, all right? Aside from that, we have people that are proclaimed black belts, masters, senseis, that'll teach you how to defend yourself, how to win a street fight. We'll take a look at just who some of these people that own McDojos and teach bullshito are. Now, this is something that I need to say first. This is all in my personal opinion. Anything that I say here is not with the intention of discrediting somebody's business as a small gym, trying to teach a martial art. This is strictly my opinion for people that are giving their students a false sense of confidence and actually putting their students in danger by giving them this sense of confidence that they can defend themselves in a combat situation when in most circumstances they can't. They are being taught ineffective martial arts. In my opinion, emphasis in my opinion. First off, we have one of those people that looks like a self-proclaimed black belt, and here's what he's got.
Broken wing, 4th degree black belt technique. This is defending a shirt grab from the front, left on right. I step out, block, eye shot. Ridge him in the carotid artery, grab his shoulder, shuffle and blast him in the ribs with an inverted punch, chop the other side of his neck, hook his head, C-step in front of him, chop his brainstem, throwing him down. Now I'm going to do it with more speed control.
First off, he just called an uppercut an inverted punch and then said, chop the brainstem. And this is something that you'll see in many of these demonstrations are people that techniques that work when your opponent just stands there and takes it. Okay? Listen, I was an amateur fighter. I have competed. I very well know that people that actually want to do harm to you are not going to stand in front of you while you pull off this like 6 or 7 step technique. 4th degree black belt? I don't know, man. Actually, I do know. It's terrible. But the fact that he called an uppercut an inverted punch is wild to me. Now, here is another self-defense, combat sports type of technique being taught by another dojo. Another type of technique where it's effective as long as your opponent stands in front of you and allows it to happen. And as you can see, this is a defending the front kick to a chin up and out, straight armed punch to the body off balance, followed by a head kick on the same side, and then a spinning kick to the head. And I'm glad that people call this out in the comments, saying things like, good if your opponent freezes in place like that. And that's the thing that I'm trying to say, is that I'm just trying to bring awareness to people that are putting themselves in danger by learning martial arts that are not necessarily effective in a self-defense situation or in a competition type of situation. Now, this is another thing from the same dojo, McDojo, you could say, of another, same as the first guy, a multi-step technique that works if they just let it happen. Oh, the roll at the end was too much, dude. There's no way he's serious. So here, his aggressor grabs him by the chest, and as you can see right here, another self-awarded black belt. And then he swings the arms, and instead of just breaking the grips, he has to go inside and out. And then a wrist grab that somehow lowers the guy to his knees just by slightly twisting his arm. And then a forward jolt, just shooting his energy out at him. He's just ejaculating energy onto his opponent. And then a twist that puts his opponent to the ground. Keep in mind, your opponent's not going to fight back. That's one thing that you need to remember in these, is that your opponent will not fight back in any sort of combat situation. He'll put himself on his stomach, and then he will stay there while you kneel next to him and look at him. And then he'll let you put your knee on his ass. He'll let you look around to make sure you don't have friends coming. He'll allow you to twist his arm behind his back. And then he will stay laying down while you roll away like you're in a movie. And here we have another from the same dojo.
Here, and drop. I got my legs in between his thighs. That's the point. He escapes. He gets up, he gets me in his guard. Boom! I can't stop. I'm trying to punch to get out. Hurry up and press down. Step over. Get out to the side now. This is the point. I want to get the full mount. I gotta put my knee on his stomach, like so. Bring my leg over. Now I got a full mount. This is the point. In MMA, I'm punching. I want to get the submission. I hook into his arm. Swing right into armbar.
There's a lot of things to break down in this clip, and I'll explain them as we go through it. First off, your opponent is not going to just throw punches halfway towards you, halfway to close the distance, for the sake of letting you slap his hands away. That forearm defense. And then your opponent is not going to just give his back to you, turn his back to you.
The nigga swung his body to the side and he hit me. Boom, pow.
And then from there, he's not going to fight at all. He's going to give you his neck with no pushback, just fall back into your back take. And if you'll notice here, he throws the hooks in, but he doesn't say put the hooks in. He says you want to have your feet on his thighs. Also, big mistake here, crossing his ankles. Those of you that do jujitsu know that you're not supposed to cross your ankles when you have the hooks in. And then he also says, I let him out right here. This is the point. It's what he says. It's not the point to allow them to get their hooks out. You want to maintain back control. And then that's also, you don't let the guy get to his back. And then from there, the guy is not going to just accept that. There's going to be a scramble here. And then you don't want to just intentionally go into the guy's guard. Terrible punching technique. And then Usually people are not going to let you just pass guard like that. And he doesn't say pass guard. He just says you're going to move. And then here, nobody is going to allow you to go from guard to side control with 0 resistance. And then here, still not an even base on him. He could get rolled off pretty easily. And then same here, knee on belly with no resistance. And then to full mount. He went from guard to side control to full mount with no resistance at all. Because again, you are fighting against a dead body. And then here you have him ground and pounding in control. And then he says, in MMA, you want to get the submission, which I'm not saying you don't want to finish your opponent in MMA, but when you have a dominant mount position where you can get off ground and pound, there is absolutely no reason. There's absolutely no reason. Just go, let me fall back. Let me take his arm and fall onto my back into an arm bar where if I lose it, he's on top of me. In MMA, if you're on bottom, you're losing. 99% of the time in MMA, if you're on bottom, you're losing, unless you're Charles Oliveira. And even then, he's still losing. Go watch the Arman Sarukian fight. And your opponent's not going to just give you their arm. He doesn't even really have like a fulcrum to break it on either. And then he rolls away. I swear, this guy watches enough UFC to be like, oh yeah, you go from here to here to here to here to here, armbar finish, without actually understanding the techniques. Those of you that train jiu-jitsu and even just watch UFC will know that you don't go from full guard to side control to full mount to finishing with an armbar in 2 seconds or 5 seconds with no resistance at all and no activity or scrambles from bottom. The craziest thing to me is that people are still falling for this and paying money to go to these gyms, and they're falling for this stuff in a time where MMA training, the UFC, is so mainstream and well known. Like, where you can look at this and be like, that's BS. I mean, McDojo Life has hundreds of thousands of followers at this point. Like, if you have not come across that channel and then be like, oh, you know what? I should go to that guy's gym. Then at this point, it's on you. And here you have people. I understand if you're very into something like Aikido or whatever, or Tai Chi. It's almost like yoga as opposed to a combat sport or a martial art. But, you know, here's a guy right here coping, saying that Aikido is more effective in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then harshly learning that it's not.
Aikido is better than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Let's go. Ooh, that slap was hard.
I'm out. No.
Aikido teaches you to neutralize the threat as quickly as possible, to reduce damage, to stay off the ground. Aikido, when
maybe reduce damage that you're going to inflict on your opponent. You know what I'm saying?
properly trained, has more of the requisite material to survive a real-life altercation than BJJ does.
Keep going. Keep going. Bring yourself. Come on. Take down, take down. Come on. Take down. All right.
And what's crazy is that he said it's better than jiu-jitsu. All that he got was a dump, which is mortal wrestling. He got picked up and dumped, and slapped in the face a couple times and kicked in the body. But he didn't even get to the jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
Like, imagine he's tried to defend himself on the ground.
All right. Take a breath. All right. Cool.
And, you know, shout out to McDojo Life for putting these type of things on blast, because I'm not trying to be one of those, like, I used to fight, I know what's what type of things. But really what it is that you have people, like I said earlier in this video, that are being granted a false sense of confidence given to them by somebody that really just wants their money for a monthly membership, in my opinion. And so really, I'm just trying to raise awareness for the community. Listen, I know that a lot of the students of these gyms, or maybe these Aikido bullshido practitioners, are going to come at me like, you never talk like this, but you'd never step into a real altercation, or you'd never spar with us. And let me clarify, I'm a former amateur fighter. I competed in Muay Thai, kickboxing, and jiu-jitsu, and I still train very frequently, so I absolutely would and have. And if any of these bullshido black belts want to prove the effectiveness of their teachings, let's do it. but we have to make content out of it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you want access to extra content aside from my regular videos, click the link in the description down below to become a channel member and get access to members-only live streams and other bonus perks. Or click the join button on our channel homepage. And if you're interested in some non-MMA content from me, check out my weekly podcast, the Hissyfit podcast, and check out my personal channel, Wyatt's World. I'll have them both linked in the description down below. Go watch this suggested video, and I'll see you next time.